Shakur Stevenson is the most boring fighter in all of boxing. No, he's not. You just don't know what you're looking at. Before I get into that, hit the thumbs up, sub, and hit the notification bell. That way you get updated when I drop the newest content like this. Now, Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward helped spin this narrative that Stevenson is boring. He is not. He is very technical, very skilled, very good. Let me say this, and I've said this many times, and I'll probably say it many more times. If you really want to watch an entertaining fight, watch two drunk guys at a bar fighting that don't know how to fight. You'll have the most entertaining fight that you've ever watched. But when you're looking at a professional sport of trained fighters, it's not supposed to be the same type of entertainment as watching two idiots who don't know how to fight lobbing punches at each other. See, excitement is an opinion. It's a personal opinion of what you like, the individual. Me personally, I find it exciting and masterful to see somebody who can make a guy in 12 rounds only land 2.3 punches a round on average. In other words, in 12 rounds, make a guy only be able to land 28 punches. That's insane. I believe he threw over 300 punches and could only land 28 of them in 12 rounds. Outclassed. That's what Stevenson did. He outclassed the guy. Boxing is not just about knockouts. Yes, people love to see knockouts. People want to see, I should say casuals want to see people knocked out. There's nothing wrong with that. It's great. But not everybody is a knockout artist, and not everybody is going to put themselves at risk to be knocked out, because here's the thing about it. When you start going in there, trading blows, doing combinations, leaving yourself open, you can also be knocked out by a guy that you should out easily box. So at the same time, there is a risk that comes with unloading on people. There is a risk. And if you want to win, well, I hate to say it, people might disagree, but why take that risk when you don't have to? If you've got the defensive skills of Mayweather and the speed of Roy Jones Jr. and you can fight on the outside, why ever go to the inside? And the thing about it is Stevenson does go to the inside. He just doesn't remain in the pocket 24/7. He darts in, gets his shots off, darts out, lets you move, gets out the way. It is what it is. Now, Herring should be his next fight. Will he remain this elusive? I do not know. Because as he goes up in competition, he's going to go up against guys who have much better timing. It's been seen many, many times that guys who are much slower with impeccable timing can beat faster fighters. They've done it several times. So that's what I'm looking to see, if he can remain as defensively sound as he appears to be at this moment. I know some people have said he's very basic. I disagree with that fully. You're not a basic fighter if people can't hit you. You're reading things. You're seeing things before it happens. You're looking at the way they move, the way they fight, their reaction to throwing punches. Everything about their body you are reading to know when they're about to explode so you can get out the way. That's the thing about it, that people don't realize, that you're highly skilled if you have a high defense, because you're reading your opponent and knowing what they're going to do before they can do it. And that's what he does, at least at the level that he's been fighting. I know he wants Valdez. That's the biggest fight he wants. He was chasing him at the division below where he's at now, and he came up to fight him. So I don't know if their fight will happen next. I know Herring's ready to fight him, so I think that is the more logical and plausible fight. And it's possible that Herring could beat him. I don't know who wins, because that will be a big step up. If Stevenson can remain as elusive as he is, if he can keep Herring down to a 12% or lower land ratio, even a 15% or lower land ratio on him, then I would say that this dude is very good. I've been saying it for a while now. I've been many other panels, other boxing channels, to people who don't know what panels are, on many other people's lives. And on all the lives when he's been brought up in the past, I've said, out of all the young guys, I think Stevenson shows the most promise. Out of all the young guys, he's the only one that should be compared to Mayweather. Because I believe not too long ago, within the last 2-3 months, I spoke on this whenever they were trying to compare Devin Haney to Floyd Mayweather. And I'm like, bruh, Devin Haney is nowhere near a Floyd Mayweather Jr. And that's not a knock on Devin Haney. He's just not. stylistically, defensively, offensively. They're not very comparable. Stevenson, if there is going to be another Mayweather-esque type fighter, it will be Stevenson, in my opinion. He is the one that fits the bill. He's the closest to it. Will he live up to that? I have no idea. His career is just starting. He's young. I think he just turned 23. So there's a lot of time for him to do good or do very bad. There's a lot of time for the hype to build or get derailed. So it's very hard to compare guys who are at the infant stage of their career to guys who are already retired and say that this is the next of that. Because we've seen all too often that guys don't live up to that. They get deeper in their career and it just doesn't pan out. But I will say, from what I have seen, in my opinion, Shakur is the best boxer for the young guys in boxing. Better than your Ortiz, better than your Haney's, better than your T.O.'s, better than your Garcias, Figueroas, whatever, Tank Davis. It goes on. I believe, from what my eye sees at this moment, and I could be wrong, time will prove me right or wrong, I believe, looking at how good he is defensively, the speed that he has, and when he attacks, how accurate he is with his attacks. I mean, he's extremely accurate with guys taller than him. And that's the thing about it. The accuracy, the defense, the speed, the IQ, everything I see from this dude, even though he doesn't say have the accolades of as a Teofimo Lopez, he hasn't been undisputed. He hasn't been the best pound for pound fighter. I'm just going off of natural attributes. I think this guy's natural attributes are higher than these other guys. And I think as time goes on and he gets more seasoned, we're only going to see more and more of him. And eventually, he is going to walk up there to fight the other young guys, the bigger names, unless they go up in weight when he goes up. But I don't believe Shakur is going to be hanging around at any weight class for too long, at least not yet. I think I foresee him going up to about 135 or 140, and he'll probably remain there for a little while. But I guarantee you he makes it a welterweight, as long as he keeps looking the way he's looking. Because the thing about it is, that speed that he has, if he's moving like that against the smaller guys, when he goes up in weight, he'll be able to move like that against the bigger guys. And it's up to the bigger guys to be able to catch him. Can they do it? I don't know. I really do not know. But like I said, when he fights Herring, that will be a good measuring stick to how good Stevenson actually is. But at this moment, I do not think he's boring. I like the way he fights personally. I don't care. Do not go out there and do something stupid to try to gain 1 or 2 fans and get yourself knocked the fuck out. Because when you do that, you lose all the fans. It's not worth the risk, especially when you're dominating these guys so easily. And I want to say this before I get off. It's funny to me that the guys like Stevenson, Andrade, etc., they have boring styles. But then when you talk about a Tyson Fury who fights very similar to them, oh, he's got an exciting style. It's never made sense to me how some guys are boring, then other guys doing the same thing are exciting. I don't get it. But again, at the end of the day, he's young. He's got room to grow. His punching power may or may not increase as he gets older. I think he's got a lot of pop, actually. I think he hits pretty hard. I just, like Floyd, don't think he puts that aggression to the test, or at least an older Floyd. Because Pretty Boy Floyd, we know he went in there for the kill. He would go for the kill. If you want to say Money Mayweather, like as an alter ego or an evolution in his boxing career, he was more defensively sound and not so much of a risk taker. That's what I'm looking at. But the point is, Mayweather, even as defensive genius, still had enough pop to where these guys could not walk through him. Still had enough pop that when he landed his shots, he backed them up. And that's how I see Stevenson. I think he's got a good bit of pop. He just doesn't get too aggressive with it, so you never really see that pure power that I believe that he does have. Is he a one-punch knockout artist? No. But not a lot of people are, especially the smaller that you get. However, do I think he has enough pop to take some of the strongest chins and back them up? Yeah, I do. I really do. And I think he's a great fighter. I think he had a great display. And I disagree 1,000% with these guys. I do not think his style is boring. And even if he is dominating a guy, I don't agree with him going out there trying to get the knockout and stop him mid to late rounds just because he's dominating them, especially a guy that he was fighting who had 10 straight knockouts in a row. So, why take the risk when you're dominating a fight? That's my only thing. Let me know if y'all agree, disagree in the comment section. My sentiment is keep dominating the fight. Win ahead, get further ahead. Don't risk it and don't take a loss in a fight that you should have won. Again, let me know if y'all agree or disagree. But I think this guy is the #1 young guy in boxing.